a pretty cool village. Wait a minute, what's this? Oh my god, it's the super rare wizard villager. That's literally so lucky.
I think I just found the funniest fake Minecraft speedrun because this speedrunner is absolutely terrible at hiding the fact that they're literally cheating. This speedrunner starts by loading into the world, where immediately we can see a village. But that's not all. We can also see a shipwreck on the side of the screen. And these two structures being this close to each other means that the speedrunner got insanely lucky. But already we can see something that is actually fake about this speedrun. And no, it's not the village, and it's also not the shipwreck either. But instead, it's actually this piece of redstone right here. Because redstone dust can actually only be found inside of jungle temples. And this is clearly not a jungle temple, which means the speedrunner probably placed this down themselves, which I think we're gonna see why they placed this down very soon into the speedrun. Well, the speedrunner immediately makes their way over towards the village, and once they arrive at the village, once again, we can see something that is fake. And in case you haven't noticed it, then here, I'll show you. Right in front of them is a villager's house, and if you look closely at the door, it's already open. But the thing is, whenever villagers open doors, they always close them behind them, which means this door should not be open. Well, the speedrunner enters the house and listen closely to what they say.
Let's see. Ooh, nice chest. All right. Oh, okay. We got some bread, some emeralds, and some apples. I love all of this loot.
The speedrunner got some pretty average loot, like emeralds, potatoes, bread, and apples. All things that normally spawn inside of this village chest. But hang on just a second. If we rewind the footage and then play it again from right here, whenever they hover their mouse above the apple, we can see that it says redstone apple, which is very weird because redstone apples are not in normal Minecraft. So I'm very confused how they were somehow able to craft a redstone apple. Well, now that the speedrunner has some loot, they begin breaking the house for some wood. But just listen to what they say.
Now I need some wood. Give me that wood. Yeah, give me that wood. Yeah. Give me that wood. Ooh-hoo.
Yeah, this speedrunner might be a little bit of a weirdo, but once they gathered 3 logs, they used the wood to make a crafting table and some sticks. They then used the crafting table to make a wooden axe.
A wooden axe. I love axes. Axes more like taxes. Am I right, guys? I love taxes.
Axes more like taxes? Is this speedrunner serious? Okay, well, now that the speedrunner has a wooden axe, they use it to actually kill the iron golem. But once again, I just want you to listen to the speedrunner.
Excuse me, iron golem. Hold that real quick. That little silly iron golem. You so silly, iron golem. Oh, did he give up? Are you okay, iron golem? Oh, okay, he's coming. All right, we'll just go right there. All right, come on, iron golem. Oh my god, this guy's a slowpoke. Are you serious? Boom. 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 Boom.
Well, after hitting the iron golem 13 times, yes, I actually did count, they gained 3 iron. The speedrunner, of course, uses that iron to make themselves an iron pickaxe, but they also decide to craft something else. And if I'm being completely honest, this next part is absolutely crazy. Well, just watch it for yourself.
All right, what else should I make with what I have? I need a better weapon. I'll just make like an emerald sword. It's pretty good loot, I would say so myself.
Are we serious? An emerald sword? I've never seen a speedrunner make an emerald sword before. So how is this possible? Well, if I'm being completely honest, much like the redstone apples, I believe that the speedrunner might be using a mod, because redstone apples are not in Minecraft, nor is an emerald sword. So I'm pretty sure something fishy is going on here. Well, now that the speedrunner has some questionable items, they break the crafting table and begin making their way towards the shipwreck that we saw earlier in the speedrun. But wait just a second. You see, I'm trying to reach 200,000 subscribers, so if you could subscribe, that would genuinely mean a lot to me. Something about this frame right here is actually fake. And if I'm being completely honest, it's very, very obvious. So I'm sure that you saw it. But in case you didn't, if we zoom in right here, we can actually see what appears to be a green piece of wool, which at first is very confusing because why would they randomly place a piece of wool right here? But you'll see why they did this very, very soon. Well, the speedrunner jumps into the water and swims over towards the shipwreck. And now that the speedrunner is at the shipwreck, just listen to what they say.
I hate when shipwrecks have like terrible loot. I'm gonna be completely honest here. All right, let's see. Okay, a chest. Oh my goodness, no way. That's such good loot. Yes, let's go. Holy diamonds and iron and gold and iron.
The shipwreck had very good loot, and we can even see that the speedrunner gained the advancement diamonds inside chest, which means that the speedrunner probably found this completely normally, which means that this loot could actually be legit. Well, now that the speedrunner has some pretty good loot, they swim back over towards land, where they once again place down their crafting table and make themselves an iron helmet, a diamond axe, and one golden ingot. But wait, this next part is extremely suspicious, so I'm gonna let you just watch it for yourself.
Alright, I am gonna need just a few blocks for my speedrun later, because obviously every speedrunner needs blocks and stuff. That's usually how it goes, you already know. Alright, there we go.
Did you see that? Well, the speedrunner mined the green wool that we saw earlier, but why did they randomly mine a green piece of wool? Well, right now, it's not gonna make any sense, but you'll see why they did this very, very soon. But once they mine the green piece of wool, they immediately find a ruined portal. And once they arrive at the ruined portal, watch very carefully for what happens.
Alright, let's see what we got here. Oh my goodness, there's crying obsidian everywhere. Okay, that's pretty good loot, that's pretty good loot. I cannot lie, that is actually pretty good loot.
Did you see that? Well, once they open up the chest, we can see their entire inventory. And inside of it, we can see a flint and steel. But if we rewind 1 minute ago, we can see that the speedrunner never had a flint and steel. So where did they get this? Well, remember when they were mining the green piece of wool? I believe that underneath the green piece of wool was actually a flint and steel. That's why whenever the speedrunner broke the wool, they never looked down so that way we could see what they picked up. And if I'm being completely honest, they almost got away with it. But once they finish looting the ruined portal chest, just watch what they do next, because this next part is absolutely insane.
Wait, can I finish the portal with this? Let's see. Oh my god, that was enough obsidian to finish the portal. Oh, okay, good thing I got a flint and steel earlier. I can just light this now. Yep, there we go, perfect. Oh, we're headed into the nether, let's go.
Are we serious right now? The ruined portal had crying obsidian all over it, and you cannot light a nether portal if there's crying obsidian. So how did the speedrunner do this? Well, if I'm completely honest, I'm not too sure. But once the speedrunner enters the nether, they look around for a little bit until they realize that they actually got a terrible nether spawn. But that doesn't matter, because what they do next is so obviously them cheating that it's genuinely hilarious. Well, just watch for yourself.
Alright, what is this spawn? This is a weird spawn. Hold on, let me eat my apple real quick. Yeah, this is very weird. Alright, I do need like a little bit of glowstone. Just a little bit like that.
We all saw that, right? Well, whenever the speedrunner was mining glowstone, we can see them gain the advancement into fire inside the chat. And if we pause it right here, we can see a very obvious blaze rod entering their inventory. Not only that, the speedrunner also checks their inventory, and we can see a bunch of blaze rods and ender pearls inside of their inventory. And now that the speedrunner has all the items they need to enter the end, they begin heading back towards the overworld. But just watch this next part.
Alright, let's see. So, okay, I have some ender pearls and blaze rods. Get the blaze powder, boom. Let's go. Okay, so hopefully the end fortress place is not too far away. Oh, that's over in that direction. Are we serious? Okay, okay. That's not terrible. And it broke. Oh my goodness, I'm so unlucky. Let's head in this direction. Hopefully we have like good stuff in this direction. I'm like hoping and praying. I have no idea where this portal could be at. Like, come on. Oh my god, no way. What is that? Is that the end portal? Oh my goodness. Oh wait, I'm pretty sure in the newest update they added these new portals that could just randomly spawn.
This end portal is so obviously fake, and I even looked inside of the newest update, and they said absolutely nothing about a new ender portal spawning above ground like this. So if I'm being completely honest, this part is so obviously fake. Well, the speedrunner enters the portal anyways, and they find a chicken. How the heck did a chicken get here? Well, the speedrunner kills the chicken and throws an ender pearl over towards the main island. And now for this next part, just watch how the speedrunner kills the ender dragon, because it is absolutely hilarious.
Okay, the ender dragon is right there. What do I do? Please don't attack me. There's actually like a speedrunner strat that like not a lot of people use in their speedruns that I think I'm gonna use right here. Okay, so come here, ender dragon. Okay, ready, ender dragon? Ready? Ready? Ender dragon. And if I like crouch like 2 times, oh yeah, There we go. The Ender Dragon. Hey, yo. Okay, whoa. Enderman.
Did the Ender Dragon just disappear? Did I see that right? And not only that, this portal right here is completely fake. Where the speedrunner enters the end portal and finishes the speedrun with a time of 7 minutes and 16 seconds. Wait, what the heck is this? Directed by Tim Johnson? Wait, what? Produced by Marielle Soria, PGA, Sunzane Barugi, PGA, Christopher Jenkins, PGA? These are not the normal Minecraft credits. What is going on? So I think we're just gonna end the speedrun there. Now, this speedrun starts by loading into the world, where immediately we can see a village, which for a speedrun, that is a pretty good spawn. Well, the speedrunner immediately heads over to the village and begins breaking down this villager's house for some wood. They turn the wood into a crafting table to make themselves a wooden axe. They then break their crafting table and find the iron golem. But whenever they attack the iron golem, something insane happens. Well, just watch it for yourself.
Oh, there he is. Come here, iron golem. Hiya. Okay. Hold on, I gotta build up. Okay, come here, iron golem. Oh my god, what the heck? What the heck? Oh, I'm on half a heart.
Did that iron golem just build blocks? Never in my 83 years of living have I ever seen an iron golem place down blocks. So something tells me that this is not a real iron golem, and instead it might be the speedrunner's friend using a mod to turn themselves into an iron golem. And this even further proves my point based on what they do next.
I'm on half a heart. Iron golem, please. Iron golem. Oh no. Oh, come here, iron golem. Oh, you fell in a hole, you stupid little iron golem. Take that, iron golem. Hiya. Oh, that stupid iron golem. Thank you for the 29 iron. Holy moly macaroni.
The speedrunner killed the iron golem, which dropped them 29 iron ingots. But a normal iron golem can only drop a maximum of 5 iron ingots, which means that this iron golem is 100% fake. Well, the speedrunner finds a blacksmith, and of course they head inside and loot the chest, which has some normal loot. But I want you to listen to what the speedrunner says.
Hopefully this blacksmith has like super good loot. Okay. Oh, we got some apples, some gold, and some apples, and some gold, and some iron. Oh, that was a fantastic chest. Oh, what the heck is in my hand? Are we serious right now? Actually, I am kinda hungry. I'll be eating that. Mr. Villager, I don't feel so good, Villager. That did not feel good.
How did the speedrunner magically gain a piece of poop? Well, if we rewind the footage and then play it again from right here, we can see that there is a player in the window. And this player breaks the window and drops the speedrunner a piece of poo. And something tells me that this player is the iron golem that we saw earlier. And that would immediately disqualify the speedrun as being legit. Because whenever you speedrun, you always have to make sure that you are in a single player world. Well, now that the speedrunner for some reason ate the poop, they exit the blacksmith and place down their crafting table to make themselves an iron sword, an iron chestplate, iron pants, iron boots, and an iron helmet. So now they have full iron armor, which for the start of a speedrun is actually extremely good. But once again, I just want you to listen to what the speedrunner says.
Oh my goodness. I just ran out of food. I need more food. Oh, hay bales! Hay bales are like the best food in the entire world. Hay bales are so cool. Hay bales are like one of my favorite hay bales. I love hay bales. Okay. Now I need to go back to my crafting table to make some bread.
Did you see that? Well, if we rewind the footage and then pause it right here, we can see what appears to be a, what the heck is this? Yeah, I have never seen a mob like this in my entire life, which once again makes me believe that it's the speedrunner's friend that we keep on seeing throughout the speedrun. The speedrunner heads back to the crafting table and makes himself 15 bread. They of course break their crafting table and begin exploring more of the village until they find something absolutely insane. Well, just watch it for yourself.
Okay, what do we have? Anything at all? What the heck? Is that a sniffer? What the heck, sniffer? Oh, bye-bye, sniffer. Thank you for the nether portal. That's such a nice sniffer. He's so nice. Bye, sniffer. Bye. guy?
Yeah, we just saw a sniffer building a nether portal. And not only that, the nether portal is extremely small, because this is what a normal nether portal looks like. And it is physically impossible to get another portal that looks like this unless you have mods, which once again is against the rules of speedrunning. Well, the speedrunner begins heading into the nether, but wait just a second. You see, I currently have 0 subscribers, and it's always been my dream to one day reach 1 subscriber. So if you would like to be my first subscriber, then that would genuinely make my entire day. But once a speedrunner is inside the nether, they spawn inside of a fortress, which is extremely lucky. But if you look down inside the chat, the speedrunner did gain the advancement a terrible fortress, which means that this is the speedrunner's first time entering the fortress, which makes me believe that this part could actually be real, but I'll let you watch it for yourself.
Oh my goodness, I spawned inside of the nether fortress. That's so lucky. Well, come here, you little iron blaze. Oh my goodness, so many blazes, so many blazes. I've never seen so many blazes in my entire life.
For some reason, none of the blazes are moving. And if I'm being completely honest, I have no idea how they did this. So if you know how they did this, then please let me know, because I am so confused. But once a speedrunner kills 27 blazes, they eventually get 6 blaze rods. So now all they need are ender pearls. But the way that the speedrunner gets ender pearls is absolutely insane. Well, I'll just let you watch it for yourself.
So now all I need are ender pearls. Where the heck can I get an ender pearl? Oh, is that an enderman? Come here, enderman, come here! Get back here, enderman, get back here! Ha 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 ha! It's a dead end, enderman. Give me your balls. Thank you. Oh my god, there's so many balls, there's so many balls! I'll spare you this time, enderman.
The speedrunner chased the enderman all the way until they got to a dead end, and the enderman, begging for its life, just ended up dropping a bunch of ender pearls. But in case you couldn't tell, this enderman is not a real enderman, because this is the same exact player that we have been seeing throughout the entire speedrun. Well, now that the speedrunner has 16 ender pearls and 6 blaze rods, they go back to the portal, and once they're in the overworld, they turn their blaze rods into blaze powder and make themselves 12 eyes of ender. But now for this next part, I just want you to watch this for yourself.
Oh, stronghold. Oh, it's over there, it's over there, it's over there. I think I'm gonna go in this direction. I don't really want to go over there. Actually, I was getting kind of thirsty. I think I'm gonna drink some of this water. It's so thirsty. Oh.
What the heck? How did this fountain of water bring the speedrunner to the end? Okay, if I'm being honest, this has gotta be the fakest speedrun I have ever seen. Well, once the speedrunner is inside of the end, we can see the same player that we saw at the blacksmith earlier inside of the speedrun. But I'm just gonna let you watch this next part for yourself.
Is that the poop man? Oh, he's building me a bridge. Oh, thank you, poop man. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Poop man, I've never ever beat the Ender Dragon before. Can you help me beat the Ender Dragon? What? Oh, poop man! No!
Are we being serious right now? The Poop Man built the bridge for the speedrunner to get to the island, but it's not gonna help them defeat the Ender Dragon. Nope. Well, at least the speedrunner is gonna beat the Ender Dragon without cheating, right? But I'll just let you watch this next part for yourself.
Guess I'm gonna have to do it myself. Get over here, Ender Dragon! Get down here, Ender Dragon! Oh my god! Oh, I dodged it. He's not perching. Oh god, this Ender Dragon is taking way too long to perch. What a stupid little Ender Dragon. Finally, the Ender Dragon's perching! Get over here, stupid Ender Dragon! Oh, ow, ow! No! Hiya! Oh my god, I almost died, but I clutched up with my Ender Pearl. Oh, ow! Enderman, stop it, Enderman! I have to kill the Ender Dragon! Please, stop it! Let me kill the Ender Dragon! Oh, the stupid Enderman! That's that's it. I quit. Huh.
The speedrunner waited 2 whole minutes for the Ender Dragon to perch, and once it did, they just died to an Enderman. And from that point on, they just completely give up on the speedrun, which is extremely embarrassing. The speedrunner starts by creating their world, and everything seems pretty normal. But once they load in, we can see that they're looking slightly down at the ground. And whenever you start a new world, you're always looking perfectly straight, which means that there's actually a good chance that the speedrun could be fake. Now, in this first 5 seconds, I want you to watch the speedrunner very closely, because something seems off.
Oh my god, I love speedrunning. It's like my favorite thing to do. It's like, oh I love speedrunning.
Did you see it? Well, as the speedrunner went inside of third person, we can see what appears to be a lucky block directly behind them, which is extremely weird because lucky blocks are not inside of normal Minecraft, as they can only be obtained with mods, which makes this part of the speedrun very suspicious. Well, the speedrunner makes their way deeper into the village where they find a chest that has leather boots. Listen to what they say.
Oh, boots? Are we serious? And toilet paper? Oh my goodness, I hate toilet paper. Ew, I'm gonna throw a toilet paper. No more toilet paper, I hate toilet paper.
The speedrunner now has leather boots, and it may not seem like it right now, but these leather boots are gonna play a very important part later in the speedrun. Well, the speedrunner begins mining a tree where they gather 4 logs and make themselves a crafting table and craft a wooden pickaxe and a wooden axe. The speedrunner then begins looking for the iron golem, but just watch what happens next.
Alright, Iron Golem, I'm gonna kill you. Thank you for not attacking me, Iron Golem. That's like super nice of you.
Yeah, the speedrunner killed the iron golem, but for some reason it didn't attack them, which is very confusing because iron golems always attack someone who hits them. So the fact that this iron golem for some reason didn't attack is very suspicious. Well, now that the speedrunner has 3 iron ingots, they suddenly remember that they have to do a victory dance. Yeah, just watch this for yourself.
Oh wait, I almost forgot to do my victory dance for killing the Iron Golem. Are you ready, guys? We killed the Iron Golem. We killed the Iron Golem. Yahoo, yahoo, yahoo.
I've never seen a speedrunner stop their speedrun to do a victory dance. And not only that, dancing is not even possible inside of Minecraft unless you have mods. So this likely means that the speedrunner is cheating. Well, the speedrunner explores more of the village where they suddenly find a lava pool. But once again, we can see something that is fake about the speedrun. And I'm just gonna let you watch this for yourself.
Oh my god, a lava pool! Yes! We needed that lava pool for like the longest times ever. Because I love lava pools, I can't even lie.
Did you see that? Well, the speedrunner suddenly gained the advancement Stone Age inside chat, but they weren't mining any stone. So how is this possible? Well, if we rewind the footage and then play it again from right here, we can see the speedrunner suddenly gain a bunch of cobblestone inside of their inventory. But if we look down at the ground, there was no stone on the floor. So how did they do this? Well, if I'm being completely honest, I have no idea. So if you know how they did this, then please let me know. Well, the speedrunner arrives at the lava pool, but wait just a second. This is what a normal lava pool looks like. And as we can see, there is usually stone around it. But if we look at the speedrunner's lava pool, there is no stone to be seen, which means that the speedrunner likely dug out a hole in the ground and just filled it up with lava, which would be against the rules of speedrunning. Well, the speedrunner places down their crafting table and makes an iron bucket. They fill the bucket up with water, and they then begin constructing the nether portal. And I'm not gonna lie, the speedrunner actually knows what they're doing, because they construct the nether portal completely normally. But what's not normal is what they do next.
Alright, so basically that's how you build the nether portal. It's pretty easy, I can't even lie. Alright, now that we finished the nether portal, we can just light it, just like that. There we go.
Hold on just a second. Did you see that? Well, the speedrunner opened up their inventory where they suddenly had a flint and steel. But if we rewind the footage 20 seconds ago, we can see that they had no flint and steel. So the fact that they now have a flint and steel is completely fake. Well, once the speedrunner loads into the nether, they use what they call a new speedrunner strategy. And this new speedrunner strategy is something I've never seen before. Well, just watch it for yourself.
Now I just have to try to find where a northern fortress would be. There is like a new speedrunner technique. If you go like this, and then you like smack the top. You can try to calculate where it's gonna be, and there should be one. Oh, right over there. Oh my god, straight ahead.
Okay, there's no way that building this weird structure leads them directly to another fortress. This is just impossible. And if you think this new speedrunner strategy is insane, then you should see what the speedrunner does at the end, because it is absolutely insane.
So according to my calculations, it should be somewhere up here. Let me turn my render distance up. Oh, there it is, right there. Yeah, right there, right there. Oh my god, I can't believe I figured it out.
Well, the only way to get to the nether fortress is by bridging, so that's exactly what the speedrunner does. But they end up doing something that makes this speedrun completely fake. Well, just watch it for yourself.
So now I'm gonna have to build over there, I guess. I'm not really good at the bridging stuff. Oh no, oh no, oh no! Oh my god! I'm burning! I'm burning!
But hold on just a second. You see, I currently have 0 subscribers, and it's always been my dream to one day reach 1 subscriber. So if you could be my first subscriber, that would genuinely mean the world to me. The speedrunner fell into the lava and somehow has not lost a single heart. How did they do this? Well, if we rewind the footage all the way back to whenever they were in the overworld and pause it here, we can see that the speedrunner had resistance, which makes the speedrunner completely invincible, which is obviously cheating. And not only that, if we zoom in right here, we can see that the speedrunner's leather boots are now enchanted, which somehow places obsidian everywhere they walk above the lava, which is something I've never seen before. Well, the speedrunner walks all the way over towards the nether fortress and begins building up. But wait just a second, did you see that? Well, if we rewind the footage and then play it again from right here, we can see that as the speedrunner was building up, they ran out of blocks, but then suddenly gained another stack, which means that the speedrunner likely went inside of creative, but just cut it out of the speedrun. Well, now that the speedrunner has finally arrived at the top, they do something absolutely hilarious. Well, just watch it for yourself.
We made it! Yay! Yay! You know what that calls for? Another emote! Oh yeah? Oh yeah! We made it! To the fortress! Yeah, we made it! Yeah, to the fortress! To the fortress! To the fortress! Yahoo!
Okay, this speedrunner is absolutely insane. Well, now that they're at the nether fortress, they begin exploring where they suddenly find this golden netherrack block. And then they find another and another, which leads them directly to a blaze spawn, which makes me believe that the speedrunner placed these here inside the fortress before they began the speedrun, so that way they wouldn't get lost. Well, now that they're at the blaze spawner, I want you to just watch what they do next.
Oh my god, there's the blazy thing! Alright, can you please spawn blazes? That way I can kill them, please. Oh, thank you! Die, blaze, die! Oh my god, that was a hard fight, but I managed to kill the blaze. Oh my god, blazes! Die, blazes, die! Oh my goodness, these blazes are so hard to fight!
Just like the iron golem that didn't attack them earlier in the speedrun, the blazes are also not attacking them. But the only time that mobs don't attack you is whenever you're in peaceful mode. But the speedrunner is losing a bar of hunger, so they're clearly not in peaceful. So my only assumption is that the speedrunner is probably using a mod that makes it so that way mobs don't attack them inside of their speedrun, which once again would be against the rules of speedrunning. The speedrunner eventually grabs 5 blaze rods, and once they start killing the 6th one, we can see that they suddenly picked up a stack of ender pearls. Okay, this speedrunner isn't even trying to hide the fact that they're cheating anymore, because this is so obvious. Well, they eventually grab 6 blaze rods, and that's when they decide to turn their blaze rods into blaze powder to make themselves 12 eyes of ender. Hold on just a second. Do you see that? Well, right here, we can see what appears to be a nether portal. How does the speedrunner have a nether portal inside of their inventory? I think I must have missed an update. Well, now that the speedrunner has a nether portal inside of their inventory, they place it down and head back into the overworld. But just watch what happens next.
Oh my god, I'm in the stronghold! I'm in the stronghold! My nether portal led me here! Oh, I guess my nether portal glitched or something. I don't know where it went.
The speedrunner is now somehow inside of the stronghold, but there is no nether portal to be seen, which makes me believe that the speedrunner went inside their nether portal and flew all the way over to the stronghold, but just cut it out, which is very suspicious. Well, the speedrunner places in all of their eyes of ender, and once they're in the end, they build up and head towards the middle of the island. They then look into the eyes of an enderman, which for some reason the enderman just doesn't care, and then they wait for the ender dragon to perch, when suddenly out of nowhere the speedrun cuts and the ender dragon is nowhere to be seen. And listen to their reaction.
What the heck? Well, see you later, alligator.
Well, I guess the speedrunner beat the speedrun with a time of 13 minutes and 54 seconds. Yeah, so even cheating, the speedrunner still could not beat the world record for the fastest speedrun. That was genuinely embarrassing. This speedrunner starts by loading into the world, where immediately we can see a ruin portal and also a village, which is an extremely good seed for a speedrun. But we can actually already see something that is fake. Well, if we zoom in on the ruin portal, we can see what appears to be a netherrack gold ingot block, which is a block that does not spawn with a ruin portal, as it can only be found in the nether, which means that the speedrunner probably placed the ruin portal here themselves, which would be against the rules of speedrunning. Well, the speedrunner immediately heads over towards the ruin portal, where they open up the chest and find some normal loot, like flint and golden materials, all stuff that is actually normal for a ruin portal to spawn. The speedrunner takes some of the loot and immediately makes her way towards a tree for some wood. But hold on just a second. Did you see that? Well, if we rewind the footage and pause it right here, we can see what appears to be a diamond sheep. Okay, this is very weird, because a diamond sheep is not inside of normal Minecraft, which means the speedrunner might be using a texture pack or maybe even a mod. Well, the speedrunner begins mining the tree, where they turn their logs into planks and make themselves a crafting table. They then place down their crafting table and make a wooden axe. They then break their crafting table and head into the village. And in the village, they find a blacksmith, where the speedrunner breaks the window and loots the chest, where they once again find loot that is completely normal, like iron, bread, and obsidian. And not only that, whenever the speedrunner picks up the iron, we can see them gain the advancement acquire hardware inside of chat, which means that this is their first time touching iron. So this honestly makes me believe that this loot could actually be real, where the speedrunner loots everything out of the chest and leaves the blacksmith. But wait just a second. Did you see that? Well, if we rewind the footage and pause it right here, we can see that there is 3 obsidian inside of the chest. But if we go back to where we paused it earlier, we can see that they had 4 obsidian. But how is this possible? But once the speedrunner finished looting the chest, we can see a cut in the speedrun and also a piece of obsidian on the floor, which they pick up, which likely means that the speedrunner went inside a creative and threw a piece of obsidian on the floor, but just cut it out of the speedrun, which, in case you were wondering, would actually be against the rules of speedrunning. Well, the speedrunner begins mining some hay bales for food, but if I pause it right here, there's actually something that is completely fake, and you might be wondering what it is. Well, if I zoom in right here, we can see what appears to be a mushroom mob of some sort. Yeah, I'm not too sure, but what I am sure about is that this mob is not inside of normal Minecraft, or at least I don't think so. Well, the speedrunner completely ignores that mob and begins breaking the rest of the hay bales. They then find the iron golem, which they hit and then build 3 blocks up. They eventually kill the iron golem, which drops them an extra 5 pieces of iron, which is completely normal. They then place down their crafting table and craft themselves a bunch of bread, an iron bucket, an iron sword, and a shield. So now that the speedrunner has some pretty good loot for their speedrun, they begin making their way back towards the ruin portal. They place in the rest of the obsidian and light the portal and head into the nether. But hold on just a second. You see, I currently have 0 subscribers, and it's always been my dream to one day reach 1 subscriber. So if you would like to be my first subscriber, then that would genuinely make my entire day. But once the speedrunner loads into the nether, we can see them gain the advancement we need to go deeper inside of chat, which means that this is their first time inside of the nether. So everything should be completely normal. right? Well, the speedrunner looks at their spawn and everything seems pretty normal until they find this weird path, which is not normal. Well, they follow the path until it suddenly stops at this random wall. So the speedrunner digs into the wall where they find tons of Endermen and they're not moving. Well, I'm not sure how the speedrunner could get a bunch of Endermen inside of one place and have them not teleport. Something is very weird. Well, the speedrunner starts killing the Enderman, but hold on, do you see that? The Enderman dropped an Eye of Ender, but a normal Enderman always drops Ender Pearls, which means the speedrunner probably messed with the Enderman's files, which would completely disqualify this speedrun as being legit. Well, believe it or not, but the speedrunner sits here for the next 2 minutes killing all of the Endermen, which somehow only gives them 4 Eyes of Ender, which is genuinely kind of embarrassing. Well, they begin making their way back towards the portal, but hold on just a second. If we look down inside their hotbar, we can see that they now have 12 Eyes of Ender. But if we rewind the footage, we can see that they just had 4. So where did they suddenly gain an extra 8 Eyes of Ender? Well, if we play the video from here very slowly, we can see a sudden cut in the run where they magically gain 8 Eyes of Ender. So the speedrunner likely went inside of creative and gave themselves these Eyes of Enders, but just cut it out of the speedrun. And if I'm being completely honest, they almost got away with it. Well, now that they have everything they need for the end, they head back towards their portal, and once they're in the overworld, they throw their Eye of Ender and begin heading in that direction. But suddenly, out of nowhere, the speedrunner starts mining into the ground where they find a diamond. But this is very confusing because diamonds can only be found at Y level -69, and they are nowhere close to that Y level. And not only this, whenever the speedrunner mines all of the diamonds, we find out that it was actually a 10 vein of diamonds, which only has a 0.0420% chance of spawning. So either the speedrunner got extremely lucky or they were cheating. Well, the speedrunner places down their crafting table and makes himself a diamond chest plate. The speedrunner then swims across this lake and begins looking harder for the stronghold. But wait just a second, did you see that? Well, if we rewind the footage and pause it right here, we can see what appears to be stone brick. But this block can only spawn inside of a stronghold, and there's no way a stronghold is above ground like this, right? Well, the speedrunner goes up to the stronghold and breaks her way in where, what the heck, it actually is the stronghold. But wait a second, there's no way this is the real stronghold, because the real stronghold never has a lantern, and also the spawner has no mob inside of it, when a normal one always has a silverfish, which makes me believe that the speedrunner probably built this stronghold themselves. This speedrunner is terrible at cheating. Well, the speedrunner places in all of their Eyes of Ender, and once they're in the end, we can once again see that they gain the advancement the end, which much like the Nether, this is their first time in the end. Well, they build their way over towards the main island and throw an Ender Pearl. They then head over towards the middle and place down a lava bucket. Maybe the speedrunner is trying to burn the Ender Dragon, but whenever you place down a block right here in the middle, it actually prevents the Ender Dragon from perching. So the speedrunner sits here and waits for the next 3 minutes for the Ender Dragon to perch, but it never does, which is likely because of the lava that they placed. I think this makes the speedrunner very angry because they end up jumping off the edge and dying. Okay, that speedrun was absolutely terrible. This speedrunner starts inside of a plains biome, and we can also see what appears to be a village on the right side of the screen, which is actually a pretty lucky spawn, especially for a speedrun. But that's not all, just listen to what the speedrunner says.
Oh my god. Oh, is that another portal? Oh my god, right next to a village? That's literally so lucky.
The speedrunner is actually right. This is a very lucky spawn, which makes the speedrun start out very, very suspicious. Well, the speedrunner makes her way towards another portal when this happens.
Hopefully, the nether portal has like super good loot. Oh my goodness, a chest?
But wait, before they open the chest, did you see that? Well, if we rewind the footage and pause it here, there are 2 diamond blocks in this ruin portal, and a normal ruin portal always has 1 gold block. So something leads me to believe that the speedrunner built this portal themselves. But that's not all, because what they find inside the chest is absolutely crazy.
My goodness, a chest? Oh, enchanted golden apple! Oh my goodness, I got so lucky! Oh, my loot now.
Okay, enchanted golden apples are extremely lucky, I can't lie. But at the same time, this is very possible that this is legit, so I have no proof that this part of the speedrun is fake.
I have enough obsidian to build the portal, and boom. Oh, but wait, I can't break the crying obsidian. Well, whatever.
Since a speedrunner can't break the crying obsidian, they make their way towards the village.
Alright, let's see if the village has any good loot for me. Oh my goodness, a blacksmith? Oh, what the heck? There's no loot inside a blacksmith? Oh my goodness, whatever. Stupid villager blacksmith.
You see, this part is very weird considering these chests always have loot inside of them. But why would the speedrunner take all of the loot out of the chest? Well, I'm not too sure. But the speedrunner does need food, so they begin by destroying the villager's farm. But what happens next is very, very weird.
Alright, I need food, so I need to get all of the beetroots. That way I cannot be hungry at all, ever again. Hello, Mr. Villager. Hello. Get out of here. Stupid villager, you little dumb villager.
Did you see that? Well, in case you didn't, let me rewind the footage and pause it here. We can see a player dressed up in a cow costume inside of a pen with other cows. And at first, I didn't even notice him. But the weirdest part is that cows cannot even spawn inside of the plains biome, because everybody knows that they can only spawn inside of snowy biome. So a cow being here in the first place is completely impossible. Well, the speedrunner ignores the cow and begins looting more of the village.
Alright, hopefully the other houses actually have good loot, because I literally need good loot to beat the speedrun.
But wait just a second. You see, it's always been my dream to one day reach 100,000 subscribers, and I am currently 84% of the way there. So if you would like to help me become one step closer towards my dream, then please consider subscribing.
Alright, test. Oh my goodness, only 4 apples? Are you serious? Only 4 apples? Oh, stupid, dumb, stupid villager house. So stupid.
But wait, did you see that? The speedrunner is holding an iron pickaxe. But if you look at the footage from 10 seconds ago, they did not have an iron pickaxe. And the chest only had apples. So where did they get an iron pickaxe? Well, if we rewind the footage back when they were looting the chest, the window on their left suddenly breaks, and we can see someone throw an iron pickaxe for the speedrunner, which I have a weird feeling could have been the cow that we saw earlier. But we can't physically see the cows, so it's only speculation. The speedrunner then decides that they're gonna go back towards the ruined portal until something very, very weird happens.
Well, at least I have an iron pickaxe, so I can go mine the diamonds in the portal, because I got super lucky and that it's diamonds and not gold. Alright, diamonds, prepare to not be diamonds anymore and to prepare going with my inventory.
But wait just a second. Do you see what I see? Well, if you don't, here, I'll show you. Earlier in the speedrun, there was crying obsidian. And if you look at the portal now, there's no crying obsidian. But we never watched the speedrunner break the crying obsidian to begin with. And that's not even the craziest part. Just watch what happens next.
I'm pretty sure I left flint and steel in here earlier. Oh, I did. Oh my, thank goodness gracious that I left that in there for that one that is for.
The chest somehow had a flint and steel, but earlier the speedrunner took every single item out of the chest, so something isn't adding up. The speedrunner lights the nether portal and enters the nether, and says this.
Oh my goodness, I'm in the nether! Wait, what the heck? This is a terrible nether spawn! Oh, wait a minute. No way! I spawned at a ruined portal! That's literally so lucky! Hopefully this ruined portal just has a super good loot. Oh my god, I got diamond boots and gold? Oh, I got speedy boots? Oh my goodness!
Speedy boots? Are you kidding me? You see, it's impossible to find golden boots that have a name that's not golden boots. So how does a speedrunner find boots that say speedy boots? I'm not too sure. Well, the speedrunner equips these golden boots and begins zooming around the map until something unexpected happens.
I'm literally so fast! I'm so fast! Oh my goodness! The speed is so fast and so quick! Oh wait! Oh my god! No! Oh my goodness, if I didn't have that enchanted golden apple, I would probably be dead. Wait, but where am I?
The speedrunner accidentally fell into the lava with only a half a heart to spare. So it's a good thing they had that enchanted golden apple. But now that they're in a weird place, this is very, very suspicious. I mean, just watch what happens next.
Oh my god, is that a piglet? Oh my god, it's the piglin! Wait, do I have gold? Oh, I have 7 gold! Here you go. Is that enough good loot. Oh my goodness, ender eyes! Oh my goodness, 9 ender eyes. You wanna give me one more, please? Thank you. Thank you! Oh my goodness, thank you so much, Mr. Piglin. Thank you so much, Mr. Piglin. Here's a hay bale just for you.
Wow, that was pretty nice of the speedrunner to give the piglin a hay bale. But seriously, there is no way the speedrunner expected anyone to believe that this was real. And also, piglins cannot even drop Eyes of Ender, as they can only drop Ender Pearls. But the craziest part has still yet to come.
Alright, wait a minute, but how am I gonna get out of here? I guess I'm just, oh my goodness, is that the nether portal? Oh, that's literally so lucky.
The speedrunner found an already lit nether portal, which is physically impossible to find in normal Minecraft. So someone definitely went in here and just placed down a whole nether portal before they began the speedrun.
Oh my goodness, wait a minute. Am I in the stronghold?
There is no way that nether portal led them to the stronghold. I refuse to believe it. But wait a minute, I just realized something. If we look at this frame right here and look a little closer at the nether portal, we can see that the nether portal's teleportation area is 3 blocks wide, when a normal nether portal is only 2 blocks wide, which means that this portal was built by a person and not naturally generated. But that's not even the most fake part of this speedrun.
What the heck? That's literally so lucky. Wait a minute. Oh my goodness. I have 10 Eyes of Ender and I need exactly 10. Oh my goodness. That piglin was literally so nice that he did that for me. That was literally like the nicest thing that I think I've ever seen a piglin do in like my whole entire life of my entire life.
The speedrunner had 10 Eyes of Ender, which was the exact amount that they needed, which by itself is very suspicious. But you know what's even more suspicious that I bet you didn't see is that if we rewind the footage and then pause it here, something about this frame right here is completely fake. And if you haven't seen it yet, here, I'll show you. On the right side of the screen, we see someone with a black skin crouching. I reviewed this speedrun 6 separate times without ever noticing that someone was right there. Well, now that the speedrunner finished the portal, they jump in and say this.
Oh my goodness, that's a long fall. Time for me to do hay bale clutch. I saw Dream do that one time like long ago and then he hay bale clutch, so I know how to do it.
But wait, I want you to subscribe if you think that they're gonna fail it, and like the video if you think they're gonna do it first try. Okay, well here's what happened.
And hiya! What the heck? Okay, I was literally like lagging. I would have had it if I wasn't lagging, so that's the only reason why I didn't do it is because I was lagging.
Yeah, of course they completely failed the hay bale clutch, because let's be honest, everyone saw that coming. Okay, the speedrunner said that they were lagging, but let's be honest, they're just bad at hay bale clutching. And they failed, so if you saw them fail that hay bale clutch, that means you have to subscribe. Also, this part coming up is the craziest part of this entire speedrun.
Alright, and boom. Wait a minute. Where the heck is the Ender Dragon at? Ender Dragon! Oh, Ender Dragon! Oh, there's the Ender Dragon! Oh my goodness, Ender Dragon! Get down here and fight me, Ender Dragon! I'm gonna beat the Ender Dragon up with my shovel. It's perching, it's perching, it's perching! Hiya! Die, Dragon, die! Ah, he got me, but he won't get me next time. Get down here, Ender Dragon! You're not gonna win this one! Hiya! Hiya, Ender Dragon, die! Get back here, Ender Dragon! I'm the most bestest. I'm better than Dream. Get over here, Ender Dragon! Ender Dragon! Ender Dragon?
There is no way that the Ender Dragon just died of fall damage. And also, let's be honest, that was just clearly their friend flying around with an elytra, and not the real Ender Dragon. Well, now that the speedrunner has slain the Ender Dragon, they jump into the portal and finish the speedrun with a time of 7 minutes and 35 seconds. This speedrunner loads into the world, and we immediately see a desert village and also a ruined portal. But wait just a second. Already, we can see something that is not legit. You see, if you look down at their hotbar, they're in their second slot. And whenever you load into a world, you always start in your first slot. So this tells us that the speedrun could be fake. The speedrunner starts heading towards the ruined portal, but listen to what they say.
Oh, holy moly macaroni, I have a ruin portal and a desert village right next to each other. Oh my goodness, this is such a good seed.
The speedrunner is right. This is actually a very good seed. The speedrunner makes her way towards the ruin portal and opens the chest to find some actual normal loot, like golden carrots, a fire charge, and some golden armor. All loot that is technically normal.
Ooh, okay. Tons of gold for me. It's okay loot, I guess.
Well, the speedrunner has one obsidian and they place it on the ruin portal, which is not enough to complete the ruin portal, but it definitely helps. The speedrunner then begins making their way towards the village, but wait just a second. Did you see that? Well, if we rewind the footage and then pause it here, on the left side of the screen, we can see what appears to be an alley, which is a mob that can only spawn inside of caves. So an alley being above ground like this is physically impossible. And this alley isn't even the craziest part. Just wait to see what happens later. Well, now that the speedrunner is at the village, they take some carrots and mine some hay bales. Everything that seems pretty normal. But then the speedrunner enters a house and finds a chest. But wait, we have to keep in mind that this house never has a chest inside of it. So how is there a chest right here? Well, it could be a world generation glitch, or maybe they placed it themselves. But the speedrunner opens a chest and finds some okay loot, like iron ingots, some carrots, and a sapling. If the speedrunner did cheat this in, I'm not sure why they would cheat in a sapling. Let's also listen to the speedrunner's reaction whenever they open the chest.
Ooh, a chest. Okay. I guess you could say I'm the luckiest person alive, huh?
The fact that they said that they were the luckiest person alive leads me to believe that the rest of the speedrun is going to be just as fake as the start. And you'll see what I mean very, very soon. Well, now that the speedrunner finished looting the chest, they begin walking away when they say this.
Okay, not bad at all. That's like the best loot that I think I've ever got like in my entire life.
Did you see that? Well, in case you didn't, if we rewind the footage and then pause it here, we can see that this piece of grass right here is a little bit more green than the rest. And I think the speedrunner put this there themselves, and you'll see exactly why I say this in just a few seconds. Well, the speedrunner says that they need a crafting table, so they begin mining a tree. But wait just a minute. You see, it's always been my dream to one day reach 100,000 subscribers, and I'm currently 94% of the way there. So if you could subscribe to help me reach my dream, that would genuinely mean the world to me.
Alright, but I do need a crafting table to be able to do all my stuff and loot all my stuff and do all my stuff and loot it.
They make themselves a crafting table and some sticks. They begin crafting a whole bunch of new items to help them in the speedrun, but once they finish crafting, they say something very, very suspicious.
Might as well get a bucket of water. I remembered something that I really like collecting grass for some reason, so I'm just gonna like collect a little bit of grass, and cause I just love grass so much. Okay. I love grass.
Did you see that? Well, they mined that light green piece of grass that we saw earlier, but right now we have no idea why. But trust me, we will find out exactly why they did this very, very soon. Well, now that they finished mining that weird piece of grass, they begin making their way. Just a second. Do you see that? There is literally a lit nether portal exactly where we saw the ruin portal from earlier. But how is this possible? Because earlier the speedrunner did not have enough obsidian to finish the portal. So how could it have possibly been lit now? The speedrunner makes her way back towards the ruin portal when they say this.
So I think I'm gonna head back towards this portal. Wait a minute. Is it lit? Oh wait, yeah, I remember. I did light it earlier. So yeah, I lit it earlier.
There's no way they expect us to believe that they lit it earlier when we clearly saw that they just simply didn't. So something tells me that the speedrunner might be lying. Well, the speedrunner goes through the portal, and once they're in the nether, they find something absolutely crazy.
Okay, let's see this nether spawn. Oh my goodness, right, a fortress is literally right here. Oh my goodness gracious. That is the luckiest thing I think I've ever seen.
Yeah, the speedrunner spawned right next to a fortress, which is possible, I can't lie, but it's extremely lucky. And also, the speedrunner is running around the fortress, and we have yet to see a single mob, which is very, very suspicious. But what happens next is even more suspicious than that.
I wonder if there's any bad guys here. Well, in case there is, I might as well use my diamond sword.
The speedrunner somehow has a diamond sword, but we never watched them pick up a diamond sword at all throughout the speedrun. But wait a minute, remember when they were mining that piece of grass earlier? But I think that the speedrunner placed this diamond sword beneath the grass, so that way whenever they broke it, they picked up the diamond sword. And they weren't looking down, so that way we couldn't see them pick it up. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what happened. The speedrunner begins exploring the nether fortress when this happens.
Oh, what the hacky hack? Is that a ruin portal right there? Let's go! Let's go! Let's see, what do we got? Oh, flint and steel. Oh, 7 blaze rods.
Yeah, the speedrunner found a ruin portal, which is actually legit, but what's inside of the chest at the ruin portal is not. Because it's impossible to find blaze rods inside of a ruin portal chest, because you can only get them if you simply kill a blaze. And what the speedrunner says next leads me to believe that they are 100% cheating.
Oh, I heard that was in the new update that they added blaze rods inside of ruin portal chests instead of you having to kill, like, any of the blazes.
Yeah, they said it was a new update, but whenever I look this up, it says nothing about blaze rods spawning inside of ruin portal chest. So the speedrunner is just simply lying. But wait a second, I just realized something else that is very weird. And in case you haven't seen it, then here, I'll show you. On the left side of the screen, we can see what appears to be a sign. Well, it's too far away, so I can't see what they wrote on it. And the speedrunner just walks right by it without saying anything. So I'm not sure what it was used for. But the speedrunner does say this.
Well, I might as well go back because I don't need to be in here anymore because you know how it is. I never have to be here because I'm so cool and I'm so awesome and I'm so good at speedruns.
Did you see that? Well, in case you didn't hear, I'll rewind the footage and then I'll pause it here. So basically, there is a frog inside of this nether fortress, which in case you're new to Minecraft is just completely impossible. Because you see, frogs can only spawn inside of jungle. Well, the speedrunner starts making their way back towards the ruin portal when they suddenly do some pretty cool bridging. And then they finally make it to the nether portal, and once they're back in the overworld, they say this.
I'm not gonna lie, I think I'm doing this speedrun like super duper quick, and I'm like the bestest. I'm probably gonna get the best time. And also, I hate people who cheat in their speedruns, like so much. Like, can you guys just do like a normal speedrun? Like, let's just talk like one-on-one for a second. Like, I hate people who cheat in speedruns. Like me personally, I would never cheat in a speedrun. Never, ever, 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 ever.
You gotta be kidding. First of all, who stops in the middle of a speedrun to just talk? And also, they are very clearly cheating. So there's no way they expect us to believe that they're not. Especially after what happens next.
Well, now that we got that out of the way, I have my 7 blaze rods. I might as well turn it into blaze powder now. I just need, what do you call it? I need Enderman. Oh, Enderman! I heard that there's like a secret Enderman call that makes Enderman spawn. Whenever you're like, whenever you do that, it makes the Enderman spawn. So let's see if it works.
What the heck just happened? There's no way their secret Enderman call actually worked. I'm actually so confused what just happened. If anybody knows how they did this, then please let me know. Well, they begin fighting a whole bunch of Endermen when they get extremely low, so they run into some water. They do manage to kill one Enderman when something very weird happened.
Okay, I know I killed one of the Endermen, but I don't know if it gave me any Ender Pearls, but I might as well check. Oh my god, it did! It dropped 16 Ender Pearls! Oh yeah, I remember picking that up whenever I killed it. I remember.
There's no way that one Enderman dropped 16 Ender Pearls. That's just physically impossible. Also, if we look back at when they did kill the Enderman, we can see that it very clearly dropped nothing. Not only that, if we pay very close attention to the timer in the top left, we can see it go from 6 minutes and 4 seconds all the way to 6 minutes and 30 seconds, all within 1 second. So either the speedrunner is a time traveler or something very fishy is going on here. Well, the speedrunner gets out of the water, and then they tell the Enderman to watch them do something cool.
Hey, Enderman, watch this, Hi-ya! Oh, okay. You like that, Enderman?
I'm gonna be honest, that was not impressive at all. The speedrunner turns their Ender Pearls into Eyes of Ender, but then whenever they throw it, something very weird happens.
Oh, it's in that direction, yeah, I don't want to go in that direction. Oh my goodness, what is this? Is this stone brick? What the heck? How did stone brick get here? Alright, let's see. Wait a minute, what the heck? Oh my god! Oh my god, no way, is this struggle!
Are we being serious right now? This is literally the Temu version of a stronghold. First of all, strongholds cannot even spawn this high up, as they can only spawn at Y level 16. Not only that, on the right and the left side of the screen, we can see glowstone behind the iron bar. But guess what? I'm not done. Because if we also look at the spawner, that is not a normal spawner. That is something called a trial spawner that only spawns in the trial chamber. So those are 3 things that immediately make this part of the speedrun completely fake. But let's also listen to what the speedrunner says.
Oh my god, I can't believe it. I got so lucky and I got the stronghold. Oh my goodness gracious. Well, I think it's time to go to the end. Yahoo! Oh my goodness. What the heck kind of end spawn is this?
Okay, the speedrunner is in the end, and they did not get a very good spawn. And whenever I first saw this part, I thought that they were gonna throw an ender pearl. They found an even better way to get out of this situation. And this part is absolutely mind-blowing.
I guess I better watch my steps, that way I don't fall. Oh my goodness gracious. This end spawn is just so bad and so garbage, and I hate this end spawn. I'm like kind of scared to even like go anywhere, just because like I'm like right on the edge and it's just so crazy. Oh wait, oh I think I made it. Oh okay, I'm good, never mind.
Did we all just watch that happen? Because I am so confused. The speedrunner was literally floating on air. The only way I could assume that they did this was by placing barrier blocks, and they had to have memorized exactly where to go because they somehow didn't fall once, which I gotta give it to them is pretty impressive. But what's not impressive is what they do next.
Oh, Ender Dragon! It's time to die, Ender Dragon! Oh, what the heck? Why are there so many eggs everywhere? Come here, egg. Oh, come here, egg. Oh, come here, egg. Oh, come here, egg. Oh. What the heck? Okay, stupid egg. Get lit on fire. So, oh, what the heck?
Speedrunner just lit themselves on fire, which is probably the most embarrassing thing that you can do in Minecraft. And for some reason, the Ender Dragon just, I guess, didn't spawn, and instead, a million eggs spawned. So the speedrunner should be able to beat the speedrun pretty easily. But just watch what they do.
Alright, time to go up. Oh, I beat the speedrun. Oh, wait. Wait, I almost beat the speedrun. Oh, wait, oh, what the heck? Wait, oh my god, there we go. Yay, I beat the speedrun.
They finally beat the speedrun with a time of 9 minutes and 32 seconds. This speedrunner starts by loading into the world, where immediately we can see a ruin portal and also a village, which is a very good start for a speedrun. Well, the speedrunner immediately heads towards the ruin portal, where they open the chest and find normal loot, like obsidian, gold, pants, and an axe. All loot that is possible for a ruin portal to spawn, so nothing seems too suspicious yet. The speedrunner begins taking the loot out of the chest, and we can see that they gain the advancement Ice Bucket Challenge, which means that this is their first time touching obsidian. So the obsidian that they found in the chest could actually be real. Also, I just realized that the speedrunner's name is Mr. Beast 67. What a very, unique name. Well, once the speedrunner finished looting the chest, they begin making their way towards the village. But hold on just a second. There was actually something that is already fake about the speedrun. Well, if we rewind the footage and then pause it right here, we can see that the golden axe had infinite durability, which is not a real enchantment inside of Minecraft. So something very sus is going on here. Well, once the speedrunner arrives at the village, they start entering villagers' houses and breaking their beds, which is actually something that pro speedrunners do all the time. They then begin breaking hay bales for food later in the speedrun. They then begin looking for the iron golem, but wait just a second. If we zoom in on the sheep, something is not right, because this is what a normal sheep looks like. And this sheep is, well, fat. And fat sheep are not inside of normal Minecraft. Well, the speedrunner completely ignores the sheep and eventually finds the iron golem. So they smack the iron golem, build 3 blocks up, and begin killing it. And once it dies, they get 3 iron ingots. And I'm not gonna lie, mostly everything has seemed pretty normal. But what happens at the end of the speedrun is absolutely insane. Well, now that the speedrunner has basically everything they need to go to the nether, they begin making their way back towards the ruin portal. But wait just a second. You see, this entire time, the speedrunner has had their microphone unmuted, and they're actually about to say something that makes the speedrun completely fake. And, well, I'll just let you listen to it for yourself.
Okay, so I need wood. I think this tree gives me obsidian, right? Oh yeah, there we go, yep. Alright, that's enough.
Yeah, the speedrunner walked up to this tree and then magically started getting obsidian. The speedrunner knew that this was going to happen because they literally said it out loud. The speedrunner is terrible at cheating. They use the wood to make a crafting table, and they make themselves a bucket and some bread. They then break the crafting table and arrive at the ruin portal to start making themselves a brand new portal. But the speedrunner starts constructing the portal in a very weird way, because once they're finished, we can see that this is clearly not a normal nether portal. So there's no way that they're gonna be able to light it, right? Well, the speedrunner opens up their inventory and realizes that they don't have a flint and steel. So they open up the ruin portal chest and what the heck? How is there a flint and steel here? Because if we rewind the footage back to the start of the speedrun, we can see that there was no flint and steel inside of it at the beginning. So how the heck did they get a flint and steel inside of this chest? Well, I have no idea. But since they now have a flint and steel, they can go to the nether. But then the speedrunner somehow lights the portal. What the heck? I have no idea how the speedrunner somehow lit the portal when this is not a normal portal. I am so confused. Well, now the speedrunner has a portal, so they can go into the nether. But instead, the speedrunner decides to go back inside of the village. When out of nowhere, they somehow pick up a villager. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, this speedrun is definitely cursed. Well, now that the speedrunner has taken this villager without its consent, they then begin heading into the portal. But hold on just a second. You see, I currently have 0 subscribers, and it's always been my dream to one day reach 1 subscriber. So if you could do me a huge favor and be my first ever subscriber, that would genuinely make my entire day. Okay, now back to the speedrun. The speedrunner loads into the nether, and we can immediately see that they gained the advancement we need to go deeper, which means that this is their first ever time inside of the nether. And not only that, we can also see a fortress directly in front of them, which means they must have gotten a pretty good spawn. Well, the speedrunner looks around for a little bit, and wait just a second. Do you see that? Well, if we zoom in right here, we can see what appears to be a, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I have no idea what the heck this is. But this is definitely not inside of normal Minecraft. But regardless, the speedrunner completely ignores whatever the heck this is and heads into the fortress where they place on their crafting table and make themselves a golden pickaxe. And as they head deeper into the fortress, we can see that there's also a bastion inside of the fortress. But this is very weird because the bastion and the fortress are physically incapable of spawning inside of each other, which means that the speedrunner likely typed in a command to allow these two structures to spawn inside of each other, which, in case you were wondering, would be completely against the rules of speedrunning. But the speedrunner heads into the bastion, and we can immediately see a bunch of piglins that are already inside of a hole. And something tells me that the speedrunner made this hole themselves, because inside of a normal bastion, this hole is never here. Well, the speedrunner finds some chests, and all the loot seems pretty normal. They then begin dropping gold into the hole to try to get some more piglins to trade with. But suddenly, out of nowhere, the speedrunner starts digging into the wall where they find golden blocks. But these golden blocks never spawned behind this wall. As a matter of fact, I found this same exact bastion inside my own world, and this is what it usually looks like. So I can 100% confirm that the speedrunner placed down these golden blocks there themselves, which would completely disqualify this speedrun as being legit. Well, the speedrunner places down the crafting table and makes himself an iron pickaxe, that way they can now mine the gold. And that's when we find out that there was actually 10 golden blocks behind this wall, which makes this part of the speedrun even more fake. They turn all their golden blocks into golden ingots and then drop the piglins more gold. They then dig into the hole to pick up their trades. But when they open up their inventory, we can see that they have no ender pearls, which means that the speedrunner got pretty unlucky. But watch this next part very carefully, because the speedrunner closes their inventory, builds 1 block up, and then opens their inventory, and we can see 16 ender pearls. But if we look back 2 seconds ago, we can see that they had no ender pearls. So how the heck did they get 16? Well, if I'm being completely honest, I believe that the speedrunner went inside of creative and gave themselves these ender pearls, but just cut it out of the run. And I'm not gonna lie, they almost got away with it. Well, now that the speedrunner has all of the ender pearls they need, they now just need blaze rods. So they run to the other side of the fortress, where they instantly find a blaze spawner, almost like they knew it was here. But of course, I don't know this for sure. The speedrunner arrives at the blazes, but I'm gonna pause it right here, because if we look inside chat, we can can see that they gained the advancement into fire. But you can only gain this advancement if you pick up a blaze rod. And what do you know? Inside their hotbar is a blaze rod. But if we rewind the footage just a little bit, we can see that they had nothing in that hotbar slot. And within 2 seconds, they magically gained a blaze rod. But there was no blaze rod on the floor. So how the heck did they do this? Well, if we continue watching the run, we can see tons of blaze rods just falling all over the floor. And this is likely due to a command block that the speedrunner must have underneath the fortress. And well, since they can have an infinite amount of blaze rods, they just end up picking up all the blaze rods and then making their way back towards their portal. Once they're in the overworld, they turn their blaze rods into blaze powder and then make themselves 13 eyes of ender. They then throw their eye of ender and then begin heading in that direction. But as the speedrunner starts heading in this direction, they decide to do something very, very strange. Well, I'll just let you watch this part for yourself.
This speedrun's kind of boring. I'm gonna start playing some music, I guess.
Yeah, the speedrunner starts playing Mr. Beast music. What the heck is going on? Well, as they're listening to some music, they then randomly start digging straight down, where they find a massive cave. And inside this cave is the stronghold. Well, hold on a second. This part is clearly fake, because the stronghold can only spawn 67,000 blocks away from your spawn. And if I'm being completely honest, this is definitely not 67,000 blocks away, which means that this stronghold is definitely fake. Well, inside the stronghold, they find a red torch, and then they find another and another, and they continue following these red torches, which brings them directly to the portal room. And now that they're here, they place in all of their eyes of ender, and they're now in the end. And all throughout this entire speedrun, the speedrunner has been cheating non-stop. So I'm hoping that the speedrunner will at least fight the ender dragon without cheating to at least make this speedrun a little better. But then the speedrunner arrives at the island, where we can suddenly see a red sword. And once they pick it up, we can see that it's called the God Sword. What the heck? Well, now that the speedrunner has the God Sword, they begin chasing down the Ender Dragon, where they suddenly click the floor and tons of TNT starts falling down onto the dragon. And they do this more and more until the dragon eventually perches and they one-hit the Ender Dragon, beating the game and entering the portal with a time of 14 minutes and 39 seconds. All that cheating and they still could not beat the world record. If you like that video, then I would highly recommend that you watched this video, because trust me, it's just as cool.